With the new Redmi generation, Xiaomi came up with a big surprise. The once small budget smartphones now come with much larger full-view displays in 18:9 format. We have tested the Redmi 5 model with a 5.7-inch displays for you guys. Enjoy watching this review. The Xiaomi Redmi 5 was provided to us by GearBest for this review. The link to the shop can be found in the video description. Regarding build quality, the Xiaomi Redmi 5 unfortunately is a step backwards. Except the 4A model, the Redmi 4 series offered high quality metal bodies. The Redmi 5 however only uses a plastic body and chassis with a metal cover on the back. Unfortunately, this structure isn't very sturdy. The smartphone can be bent very easily and with very little effort. This makes it not only susceptible to damage and pressure marks on the display, but also looks and feels cheap. A pure plastic unibody design would have been a better choice. And there's another flaw. The metal cover is slightly loose, making it rattle when knocking on it or when you lie it down on a table. This, of course, further underlines the cheap appearance of the smartphone. The camera module, protruding quite a bit from the rear, is also suboptimal. This not only causes the phone to wobble when you use it on a table, but also makes the glass cover of the camera module exposed to scratch-causing particles. Bottom line, the only positive things about the design are the very small thickness of only 7.5 mm, the pleasantly low weight of 158 grams, as well as the modern looking front, which is almost entirely covered by the screen. Speaking of the screen, the 18:9 panel built into the Redmi 5 is 5.7 inches in size, but comes with a resolution of just 1440 by 720 pixels. Now, do you notice that? Well, it depends. If you come from a high resolution display, there of course is a visible difference. Even though individual pixels are not really visible in typical usage distance, one simply notices the reduced sharpness. And this is particularly noticeable when text with a small font size is displayed. In terms of quality, the screen is situated more in the midfield. We have already seen much better panels in this price range. The Redmi 5 does not really come close to the displays of the Redmi 4 series. The panel just lacks that certain something. There is a lack of brilliance and contrast. No, the display is by far not bad, but it certainly isn't impressive either. The display brightness is pretty good, but the readability under direct sunlight is not perfect though. This may be due to the moderate contrast. You have to pull up the brightness to 100% and turn the display away from the sun a little bit in order to be able to read the contents. Unusual for a budget phone is the 10-point touchscreen, and this one works well, especially when typing. There is only very little input delay when scrolling. The display glass offers quite good gliding properties, but no coating against fingerprints. Scratches did not occur during the testing period. The Snapdragon 450, which is powering the Redmi 5, is one of Qualcomm's newest entry-level chips. It's manufactured in 14 nanometers and features 8 Cortex A53 cores clocked at 1.8 GHz and an Adreno 506 GPU. The chip can be described as a better MediaTek MT6750T with more graphics performance. In the Antutu benchmark, 55,099 points are achieved, which is a very good result for this price range. The chip delivers a very good everyday performance, even though the Redmi 5 only has 3 GB of RAM. If you need more, Xiaomi recently launched a 4 GB model as well. However, you should stay away from the even cheaper 2 GB model. As far as the gaming performance is concerned, there's nothing to complain about for the price tag. Asphalt Extreme runs smoothly on highest graphics settings, and the same applies to Unkilled. Both are quite challenging games, so there should be no bottlenecks for other titles with similar requirements. What's slightly disappointing is that the Redmi 5 is available with a maximum of 32 GB of internal storage. A 64 GB option would have definitely made sense there, as MIUI still does not offer the possibility to transfer apps to an SD card, although there is an SD slot available. By the way, the latter offers a good data rate when reading, but has been very slow in our test when writing with only 17 MB per second. The Xiaomi Redmi 5's fingerprint scanner works extremely well. It works reliably and unlocks very fast. You hardly notice any difference to the more expensive Xiaomi phones, and that's quite awesome for a phone that costs just 130 euros. For the remaining sensors, the Xiaomi Redmi 5 offers the usual full equipment with a compass, gyroscope and even a pedometer. All sensors work just fine. The Redmi 5 has a status LED on the upper right, however, this one can only light up in white. What we don't quite get is why Xiaomi still uses a micro USB port instead of consistently using Type-C in all of their phones, but at least USB OTG is supported. When it comes to software, the Xiaomi Redmi 5 comes with Android 7.1.2 with the MIUI 9.2 flavor. There is currently no final global ROM for this phone, but this might change in February. Nevertheless, there already is a global ROM on the MIUI forums, which apparently comes from the internal nightly builds. You can find it in the official forums at en.miui.com, but please note that you might have to unlock the bootloader in order to flash it. An earlier version of this global ROM was already pre-installed on our review sample from GearBest. Interestingly, this has not caused any of the usual problems. The option to unlock the bootloader is available and works in contrast to the usual shop ROMs. Until Xiaomi officially releases the global ROM, you can use GearBest's pre-installed firmware without any problems. The mobile network reception quality of the Redmi 5 is very good, but this can be expected with a plastic body. A downside is that Band 20 LTE isn't supported yet. Unfortunately, the Redmi 5 only works with the BGN standards and Wi-Fi, although the chipset would support AC Wi-Fi. The reception quality, however, is also very good here. Bluetooth is supported in version 4.2 and covers about 2 rooms without dropouts. GPS signal strength is very good too, and there are no glitches in GPS tracking and navigation. The mono speaker in the phone's lower frame delivers a surprisingly rich sound for a budget phone at higher volumes. A 3.5mm jack is still available and provides a good interference-free output. Headphone presets and a system equalizer are on board as well, as we are used to from Xiaomi. When it comes to telephony, the quality is mediocre without voice over LTE or HD telephony. The sound is quite muffled, and on the other side you can hear a bit of noise. Also, the earpiece sometimes suffers from interferences from the mobile network. Background noise is suppressed quite well with a dedicated noise-cancelling mic. The 12 megapixels main camera is based on an OmniVision OV12A10 sensor with f2.2 aperture and delivers surprisingly good results for the price range. In daylight, the results convince in almost any situation. The pictures look sharp and detailed even on a large screen. The only weakness we can detect is that in HDR mode the camera is sensitive to shakes. The shutter time is pleasantly short and the focus also works comparatively fast. At night, the camera catches a surprisingly high amount of light, which leads to good results when shooting with the LED flash, even in larger rooms. Night shots look a little unsharp in too little light, but they look nice with sufficient synthetic light sources. The front camera uses a 5 megapixel OmniVision OV5675 sensor with f2.0 aperture, and it does surprisingly decent pictures as well. Even in demanding lighting conditions, the results are still usable. A selfie light illuminates images relatively well at night. Videos can be recorded in Full HD with both cameras. The main camera offers EIS and reduces shakiness a bit. The video quality of both cameras is good enough for the price tag, and also the sound quality is good. The 3300 mAh rechargeable battery inside the Redmi 5 is used efficiently, and with a screen on time of around 11 hours makes up for about 1.5 to 2 days of battery life. Charging from 20% to 100% takes about 2 hours with the included power supply. Verdict: even if the Xiaomi Redmi 5 offers a really bad build quality for a Xiaomi phone, we are still dealing with a surprisingly good phone here. At about 130 euros, this thing packs a punch, and especially users with higher expectations regarding the camera will find an excellent price-performance ratio here. If you don't mind the build quality, limited storage and the currently missing Band 20 LTE, this one is worth a closer look. And that's the end of this review. A shop link and more information is located down in the video description. I was Christopher for CMM, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.